All right, welcome back, baby. How are we feeling today?
We are feeling good for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Because I know we talked about a lot of stuff last session.
Mm-hmm.
Any particular things that you're feeling, kind of reflecting on that?
Um. We went to visit my sister and my brother-in-law, nieces and nephews. So he's met part of my family.
Oh wow, that's a big step.
Right. I didn't expect. So this is gonna sound crazy. I didn't expect them to I expected them to be like them, like my sister, my brother-in-law, like da da da. My nieces and nephew, however, I just kind of like they're very standoffish, like they don't like just anybody. So I expected them to be more like, oh, like okay,
hi, Mister.
Right. He's got a nickname.
Oh, wow.
Whenever he walks in the house, jumps on him. My youngest niece, very standoffish, loves him. I think I actually had to fight for him a little. I was like, hold on, girl, who did he come here with? So there was like we had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Sister loves him. I said he can't be around the little ones anymore though, because we're not here for longevity. We're here for a good time, and I didn't think they were going to get attached to him, and I don't want that to be
I understand that,
right? So there's that. My sister made a comment and was like, she's made several, but she made one stating that I don't understand why y'all aren't making it a thing. He seems very serious about you, and y'all function as a couple. So I don't understand why we're not making this like a thing.
A solid thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of brings me back to our previous session where you said that the idea of you having that concrete label of being boyfriend, girlfriend, and actually functioning in that way and having those clear boundaries kind of make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still true in this situation?
Yes, because we did have a conversation saying that basically establishing like what is it that we're doing, and we still same page of, well, in the beginning this is what we said, this is what it's gonna be, like, okay, but we did get to like a revelation of, well, he said, well, I'm not talking to anyone, I don't plan on talking to anyone. I was like, well, I'm not talking to anyone, I don't plan on talking to anyone. And so we both kind of said, like, he's like, well, if you feel like you want to, he was like, all I ask is for you to just let me know you want to talk to someone else or something like that. So I kind of feel like in a way we kind of just was like, okay, we're exclusive until we meet someone, and we're no longer exclusive. But neither one of us are looking to meet someone. And he made a comment saying that if he like did meet someone and found attraction to them, like he would tell me like to just don't leave him alone with that individual, like, so you don't even want to pursue someone else, even if you were put in that position.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this? like I'm confused. Like, it's a lot of pushback.
Right.
It's a lot of pushback on his end. So it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Pushback.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You did.
Yeah.
I want to go. You say pushback.
Mm-hmm.
You push back on his end.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that for me?
It feels like there's a lot of like we have a lot of talk about marriage and our values are aligned, and we talk about houses and kids, like do all that crap, and then like every now and then it'll be like, well, whenever you meet your husband, or da 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 da, or whenever you leave me, or whenever this is over, it's like, okay, so yesterday you were just setting the kids in the white picket fence, and now today it's well, whenever you leave me, blah blah blah. So like, which one is it? Because I don't talk like that. I'm not over here talking about some, yeah, well, when this is over, or, blah, blah, blah. Nor do I initiate the conversations of marriage and all that. Like, that's all him, right? We're here, let's live in the moment.
Right.
We established that this isn't going to go any further. So why would I bring up conversation discussing that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that seems crazy. But he does. And I'll entertain it. Because why not? I'll entertain it. Probably shouldn't, but I do. I don't know. It just seems like he's kind of at conflict with himself about what he might actually want.
Right. Or how he would, like, actually define y'all's relationship.
Right, yeah.
So I can imagine that could be kind of confusing, because you have one hand where you're like, he's kind of painting out a picture of what your lives could be like going down the line and creating a more long-term relationship. But then on the other hand, you have conversations where it's like he's speaking on your future, and that's a future where he's not included in
that part.
How does that make you feel?
Confused. Because it's like, I'm a very like set in stone. So if you say this is what we're not gonna do, I'm taking that and I'm running with it.
Right.
I'm running with it, because I've been in situations before where I'm with someone and we state in the beginning what it's not gonna be, but then I'm seeing all these actions and hearing all these words that are suggesting otherwise, and then when I try to have the conversation with that person, we're not actually blah blah blah. So I tend to take men for their word the first time. So I'd just be like, why are we having this conversation? I don't understand what's the point of it. It's like playing house. Don't know why we're doing that, because it's not what we're doing. So what are you doing?
So taking that in consideration, what prompted you taking a really big step? Because I do want to acknowledge the fact that, introducing him to your family, that's a big kind of opening of a boundary, because family is family is sacred.
It is sacred.
We may fight and we may argue, but we love our family. And introducing somebody that's, dare I say, a significant other.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine to say. Yeah.
That's a big step. And then you said, you mentioned that your nieces and nephews, who are normally kind of like, who's this?
Right.
Trying to figure out who this person is, kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
Are immediately like, who's this person? I love him.
Right.
I love him.
Like, calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you kind of also had the kind of forethought of, I would say, of like, I don't want you to continue to be around them, because I don't want for them to get attached, and then something happens and y'all go your separate ways, and they're like, where did he go?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's...
And it didn't help. My sister told him, granted, she was drunk. She probably ain't me too. But she told him that, because I don't bring anyone around. He was the first
person.
Yeah, he was the first. I don't bring anyone around, and my sister felt deeply in her spirit to let him know that. And yeah,
Adds to the confusion.
it does.
Yeah.
So now it's like, damn, now I'm contributing
To
to
the
the thing. Because if he didn't know, it would have been like, okay, whatever. But now he knows. So now I feel like it's opening up a gateway of, well, what's going on?
I'm your first.
Yeah.
And your first is always, it's always complicated and it's always very special.
Yeah. So, to be fair, he wasn't even supposed to. He stayed with
Right.
me and my sister, like at the house.
Mm-hmm.
He has a mom who lives out there. So originally,
Right.
he was supposed to only stay for the night we got
Mhm.
there, and then go to his mom's. But he ended up staying our entire trip. Like, he enjoyed himself so much that
That he said.
he just stayed.
Oh, wow.
So my niece and nephew really weren't supposed to have that much interaction with
But they
him.
bond, like they had a lot of time to bond.
A lot of time to bond.
Right.
Like, we talking cuddled up watching Sonic. What's going on? Like, what's happening? So.
And going back, you've already met his family as well, right?
I've met his sister.
Uh-huh.
I've kind of met his dad in a passing.
Right.
Okay. And then I kind of met his mom that weekend via
right.
FaceTime.
Uh-huh. So y'all are kind of equal playing field at this point.
I guess we are.
Tell me about that. You like, is the body language is all there? Tell me how we're processing this.
It's not great. Like, yeah, kind of breaking a lot of my rules. Actually, it's not what we want.
Rules. Tell me about that. What are our rules for navigating
Through
relationships?
Yeah, like, there are boundaries that I set in place to protect myself, right? And as you said, family sacred. That's like one of those things. Like, I was with someone, and that wasn't even official, but I was with someone for 3 years, and he never met my family. He's only met my sister via FaceTime. Mm-hmm. My family knew about him. They never met him.
Right.
So it's like, now this guy that I've been seeing for almost a year is coming around. Buzz, buzz, buzz. What's going on? So, not really into that.
And outsiders looking in are even acknowledging the fact that y'all move and operate and function like a couple. Not good friends. Not just homeboy.
Yeah, it's definitely not good.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's kind of dive into that a little bit, because you said rules and you mentioned, you highlighted boundaries that normally in situations like this, it's cut and dry.
Yeah.
It's just us. There's nobody else come. You're not meeting family. You're not doing that. I have to assume you're like, friends. Possibly.
Yeah, friends. Yeah.
But like family.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Is a hard boundary.
Yeah.
That
it's kind of getting pushed open a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in times where we're expanding our boundaries are kind of coming down. Our walls are coming down.
Yeah.
I think some people feel like kind of take it with open arms, or if it's something super new to them, they feel backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you are kind of in that type of space?
I don't know if I necessarily feel backed into a corner. Yeah, I don't know. I like to keep it private a lot. I think even if we were actually like official, like, I still wouldn't have it be
Taking that big step.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm aware that I do have commitment issues, so on that end of things, I know that would be probably what that would be. But it's like I'm not in an official relationship, so la di da di da. You don't have to meet them, and I have no. I'm not. I don't feel pressured for you to meet them because you're not my man.
Exactly. I guess I use the term backed into the corner because you're in a situation where, well, and of course, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you're in a situation where you now have to really think hard about how you define relationships.
Yeah.
Where you are in a relationship, and how he also factors into it.
Yeah.
Which is a slide. It's a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned those commitment issues.
Yeah. I don't know. This is like, I think I said in the last session, like the most serious relationship that I've had. So I guess I am trying to find like my footing in all of this and trying to understand, but it's like, it is hard because it's like in the back of my head, I have the whole, this isn't going to go anywhere. So what's the point in feeding it, right? In that way, nurturing it in that way, if it's not going to go anywhere. And then I also have, his friends, our friends are really integrated now. Like, just about our lives as a whole is really merged.
Interconnected.
Very badly. And not in a bad way, but he's grown close with my friends and vice versa. But it's like, even then, like, his friends of 10+ years will literally come up to me and be like, just do you, girl. Just do you. Like, I know him. Like, he has a habit of blah, blah, blah. And, I just don't want you to get hurt. Just do you. So it's like, when you hear that, like, it doesn't. It actually makes me white knuckle that thought of, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Despite what he says and how he acts and what everyone observes from the outside, if his people that he's known of 10+ years are telling me, they're telling me because they've seen this before, they've seen these patterns, you know what I mean? And they're just trying to be observant and,
you look out
helpful, right? So it's really complicated. Yeah. It's really complicated. So I do my best in my own way to make it uncomplicated by sticking to what was said in the beginning.
You're not my boyfriend.
You're not my boyfriend.
Right, to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have those outside influences that are kind of affirming that voice in the back of the head, like where it's like, okay, it's not your boyfriend anyway. So you just like they said, do you? But then you have these really candid conversations with him, and it's just like,
yeah,
I can see us doing this. I can see us doing this in the future.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about like next week.
Yeah.
Next month. Not even.
He's talking like
5-10 years down the line.
Like what?
So if you're having those type of candid conversations, are you also bringing in that outside influence conversation where it's like, I already feel this way because of my kind of commitment issues, but then you have outsiders looking in that are tapping you on your shoulder and be like, hey, this is what he does, or this is what he has done in the past.
Right.
Are you having those type of conversations as well?
With him? Yeah. I just told him, I think maybe a couple of weeks ago, I was like, because he likes to crack jokes, and part of me be thinking he's projecting. Like, I don't know what he does outside of me, but where he'll be like, oh, like, you know, your boyfriend's calling your phone or blah 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 whatever. And I just laughed and I was like, I don't really think it's fair that you can make those type of jokes when your friends are every week constantly telling me to do me because of how you move, you know. And he was like, I just think it's because, you know, and he told me, a lot about his past. Some things I wish he kept to himself, but it's fine. Um, where he's like, you know, I just feel like they've seen me in many different eras in my life, in many different situations, and I think that's what they're just trying to protect you from. And I was like, well, are you not changed? Are you not evolved? Did you not learn from those past mistakes? Like, you know, it's like, because if you're saying that, what I'm hearing is you still doing that same crap.
Right.
Because you talking about stuff. They're just seeing pattern recognition. Okay, so if it's pattern recognition, that means it's a pattern that's still continuing. It means you're still doing it. So are you? It's like, no, I don't. It was a long time ago. Then why are they still telling me that? I'm a very logical person. Like,
right.
I'm very like, these are the facts. Like, these are the facts. Yeah, like, right. I'm not going off of, well, it's just, no, these are the facts. Mm-hmm. These are the facts that you've told me. So why would I ignore the facts that are laid out on the table?
Right.
And this sounds crazy when I say, oh, I don't care, and just trust what's coming out your mouth. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. Like, no.
No, because nobody wants to, first of all, nobody wants to get hurt.
Right.
And then nobody wants to feel like they've been made a fool of.
Oh, because you won't. You will not. You will not.
And when you're an individual that, like,
yeah,
you already don't open up that way.
Don't.
And you kind of maneuver relationships as, like, you know, this is here and now, we're just here for fun. Mm-hmm. And whatever happens. It happened. I had a great time. Thank you. I wish you well in your life. And it's on to the next. Two shits passing in the night.
That's it. Because I can only control me. I can't control what you do. But I can control what I do.
Very true. Very, very true. But now you're in a space where you have really opened yourself up. Mm-hmm. Opened your heart.
Yeah.
Opened your life.
My life. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, you integrated this individual into every aspect.
Too much. He says the same thing about me. Like, I have a lot of access to a lot of his life. Mm-hmm. He was like more than he's let anyone. And I could probably like believe that because it's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot. And he trusts me, and I'm glad he can, because you can. He can trust me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, vice versa. Just, you're still a man at the end of the day.
And this is very new. Like you said, this is like uncharted territory.
Completely.
So completely. I can empathize with the fact that you are kind of being mentally pulled in a lot of different directions. Because always, you know, your brain always wants to protect itself. Your brain is the brain is funny. It's going to make sure that you're good and it's good. So those little intrusive thoughts, you know, sometimes it's a whisper.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's head on every day, like
yelling. Top of the line. Yeah.
But I guess you have to decide whether you're going to fold into those intrusive thoughts or kind of jump into the unknown.
Yeah.
And nobody likes the deep end.
No.
Because you can't see the bottom.
You can't.
You can't see the bottom.
I can't see that shallow end. Okay. See that very
right.
Well. That deep though, I don't know you.
Right. But I challenge you to think, if you stay in the shallow, if you stay in the key, how do we graduate from, our floaties and our swimmies to, little backstroke? in exploring what life can look like in, oh, dare I say, a committed relationship.
Yeah. I just don't know if that's in the cards.
And that's okay.
I just don't know.
That's okay.
I don't know. I don't want to be stuck
Mm-hmm.
in this. I do have a habit of being stuck in these like we're together but we not together, and it's going on a year or two, and nothing. Like, I don't want to be stuck in that, but I also don't mind it because it's like we're not together. So if I want this to end,
It's easy. It's the easy way out. An escape
plan. Okay. Because one thing I don't want to do is, okay, like, let's get together.
Right.
That's it. And then I wake up one morning and you over here talk about will you marry me? And I'm like, oh.
Oh,
well, this is awkward.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Like, oh no. I didn't think we were there yet. That's weird that you felt that way. So, I think I'm just really aware of how I can be. And I can be very hot or cold sometimes. And I just don't want to hurt anyone. I won't say I'm never scared of getting hurt. It's just easier for me to get hurt than it is for me to hurt someone else unintentionally.
That's an interesting perspective. I'm glad you introduced that. Can you, is there a specific time where you feel like you hurt somebody in a relationship and you kind of did it unintentionally, but
Yeah. Ironically, it's kind of like the same situation now, where we stated what it was going to be,
mm-hmm.
and then we're doing our thing, and I kind of caught feelings, but they caught feelings heavier for me than I did for them. And it's not that I didn't want to, but we stated what this was going to be. Time goes on, and now the person's talking about something. I want to be together. And I'm like, no. And my friends was like, wait, you don't? And I was like, why is everybody acting surprised like I do? And it's like, because of the way you was moving and behaving. And I was like, oh. And now he's over here sad, throwing up, sick to his stomach. And I'm just sitting here like, oh no. I thought we were just having fun. What happened? Like, I thought we were playing house, and like whoa, this got serious real quickly, and I felt really bad. I was like, he kept saying that he didn't want to be in a relationship. How was I supposed to know that he was lying? How was I supposed to know that? So I do have the habit of getting into those types of relationships. And everybody be like, he really likes you. I think you should da-da-da. But it's not like I don't have those conversations. I do have them with them. But I can't help you, help me, help you if you're lying to yourself. Again, I can only control what I do.
Right.
I think it would just be easier if I just had better boundaries and either we're gonna do this or we're just gonna stay friends.
More open.
Yeah.
Communication, because communication is our tool, but clarity is our friend. We love
for sure
clarity. Clarity is our.
She's that girl.
She's
that girl.
She's that girl.
Real bad. So I feel like that's where the disconnect seems to be.
For you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the similarities and differences between that relationship and where you are now with Sir Star?
Okay, so we'll use the most recent one, the 3-year one. That one started off straight up friends benefits. For a year. It was just straight up. We was also seeing other people. He was doing his thing. Mm-hmm. He was still stuck on his ex. He had a bunch going on. I was chilling, as always. And they never believe me when I say that. And then be sick when they found out I actually was chilling. But that's not here or there. But with Mr. Man, even though I did meet him in a club,
Please.
even though I did meet him in a club, the next like meetup was a date.
Oh.
So we started actually like he was courting me, like we were actually going out on dates and doing all this other stuff. It wasn't just strictly friends with benefits. It was so much more from the jump.
Right.
So off rip, like there's that, and then also just how we function off the jump, like it was just like two puzzle pieces that instantly connected. Like it was like I fell into the role of Miss Passenger Princess real quick. He's naturally just this provider of an individual, so like I've never let anyone take the lead ever. Ever. And it was just so much easier to just let him do it because he just did it. Like I didn't have to ask him to do stuff. Like he just knew to do it. I didn't have to. Like this is the first person where I did not have to, or where I get to be a girl. That's what I said. Where I get to just be a girl. That is what's different from all the other ones. All the other ones, I would cuss them out. You know, because of whatever. With this one, I literally get to be in my femininity.
Right.
And I get to just be a girl. Yeah.
So I asked you that because a few minutes ago you mentioned how you have a pattern of, saying that, this is just for fun, but the other individual kind of has some more deep feelings that they don't fully express. So after that, you feel like you don't want to be the person that hurts them.
Yeah.
But looking at the two examples that you gave me, comparing this current relationship to this past relationship, they're a little night and day, don't you think?
Real bad. Real bad. Yeah.
So I would like to ask, what makes you think that you would show up in this relationship the same way you showed up in that previous relationship?
Clock it.
And there's no right or wrong answer.
For sure.
And if you don't have an answer, that's even better. That's even better.
Yeah.
That's okay.
How I would show up compared to the last time. I feel like in a way it kind of did, like, off rip, like, like I'm so nice to him. Not saying I'm not nice to the other ones, but in a way, like I'm really nice to him. But that's because, like, he doesn't give me a reason to, like, go off. Like, I never really had to get out of character with him.
When you feel safe, when you feel seen,
Very.
it's a very special feeling to being in a relationship and your needs are met without any conversation.
I mean,
it is. I'll speak from experience. It is the most validating thing.
Yeah.
Especially when you have history of people misusing you and things of that nature.
Really?
I won't go too deep into my own personal self-disclosure. But there's it makes you operate differently.
Like a whole new person. Like who?
Right.
Who is that? Who is that girl? Yeah. I love it. It is. It's different. It really is. Yeah.
So, is there any chance that you can, and see those major differences and kind of, you know, not put them away,
Mhm.
put them on the back burner,
Mhm.
and I don't know, dive in to that unknown, into those uncharted waters, and
Yeah.
see what it can bring.
I would. I would. If I didn't have friend A, B, and C telling me
Because
all
that's
the
it.
other
Because that is, I would be remiss to tell you. I would be a terrible counselor if I told you, "Oh, girl, ignore them."
Yeah, because it's giving what y'all know that
That
I
you don't
know, right?
And so that's valid. That's 100% valid. I don't want to like tell you just to completely ignore that, because is that a red flag? Potentially.
Right. Because they would know more than I would.
True.
You know? Do I think it's weird that they tell me every weekend just about? Kind of. Kind of. But I don't know. I feel like I know the type of person I'm dealing with. And based off of what he's told me from his past. You know?
Is this a situation where this is different from them?
For sure. He hasn't given me, which this is the kicker, right? He hasn't given me a single reason to not trust him. I don't have not one reason.
So, go ahead.
Just kind of discredits that a little bit, because it's like it'd be different if I had reasons to not trust him. And listen. So yes, I listen to what they say with a grain of salt. But it's like, the way I see it, if I find out that something is going on, XYZ, I find out. If I don't, I don't.
Right.
All I can do is, like I said, take that with a grain of salt and proceed to move forward, knowing that he hasn't given me any reasons to not trust him.
Because you're also in a position where he's not giving you a reason not to trust you, so you can also beg to question the intentions of the friends.
And see, there's that too, because they're an interesting friend group. Love them dearly.
Interesting.
They don't trust each other with their emotional life. Like, they'll trust each other with a lot of stuff, but they do not. I've noticed since I've joined the little circle, like, they trust me to call and cry about something or something that's going on. Like, they are all perfectly fine with confiding in me, but they would never show that side of themselves to each other, almost as if it's a weakness amongst them, like they're going to use it against each other.
So that's another thing that you can sort of take into consideration.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moving factors.
It's a lot. I feel like I'm playing chess constantly. Yeah.
That can't be easy.
It's not. You know what is easy?
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it in the back of my mind that it's not my boyfriend. That's easy.
And correct me. Actually, can you clarify? Because I know I asked you last time, but you said y'all have been together. Y'all been connected.
Connected. I love it. Yeah.
For 6?
It'll be a year next
month. Oh.
Yikes.
So.
Yikes.
I guess as we begin to wrap, you want to still have these types of conversations in another year?
Mm-mm. I say no, but the likelihood of this happening is very high, right? Like, it's very high. I don't want to. I don't want to. But it's like I'm happy, right? It's kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I did have a goal for myself after the last situation to not fall into these situations because I do get comfortable.
It's yes, it's a surface. It's beautiful. You're having fun. You're enjoying each other's company.
Right.
You know, you're reaping the benefits of being in this relationship with this man.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be that cloud, that looming sense of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Which, even though you may not feel it now in the moment, as it builds, it just
at some point
it affects you and it wears on you.
Yeah.
Like that idea that you mentioned, you did use the analogy of always playing chess.
Mm-hmm.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. And I didn't feel like I was playing chess until like a few months ago. When we passed the 6-month mark, I thought this was originally only going to last 3 months, a cute little summer fling, since I'm at the beginning of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kept going into fall, and I was like, okay, so by October though,
yeah,
we gotta wrap it up. And then he started staying with me for 2 weeks at a time, and then I was like, okay, so we're moving forward instead of wrapping up. So it just like kept progressing, and then I was like, okay, we'll do a little check-in.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are.
So, I guess the challenge, and I know this session is like a whole lot of challenge. I know, I'm throwing a lot at you.
It's fine.
And you're like, I appreciate you, being so open with me. I want to applaud you on that and kind of really getting into like some serious self-reflection of it. So I, again, acknowledge the fact that that's not an easy thing to do. To a stranger. So, yes, but again, I do want to challenge that. How long can we continue this uncertainty?
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like you to kind of reflect on is how can the uncertainty be lifted? And what does that look like for you? What does that look like for the relationship?
Okay.
And that could look like getting a clear answer. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna go on and kind of see how it goes. And when it naturally fizzles out, it fizzles out. Or gonna go back to my previous analogy. You're gonna jump into the deep end, jump into the 5 feet, get into the 6 feet, and see what that area holds. And what that looks like is, in layman's terms, is you're gonna see if you can commit to that big label. That big label. I circled it. I went down that cul-de-sac. I went down the cul-de-sac. I didn't go all the way down.
Right.
But I do want to, as we wrap up, I do want to,
a little through front row maybe.
Right, and to really think about what boyfriend girlfriend looks like to you. I challenge you to just reflect on that and how that might look like for you and Mr. Sir.
Mr. Okay. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Nauseous. Nauseous, but food for thought.
I love that.
Food for thought.
I love that. I love that. So yeah, I'll check in. We'll check in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And again, this is not a pressure, not a push in any direction. Just self-reflection. And let whatever that reflection gives, allow that to move your steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're good.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure, Bambi.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a few weeks.
Thank you. Not the thank you. Oh my god. Okay.